Here we are with GTS's Chief AI Officer, Anand Mistry. Welcome to GovAI. We're thrilled to have you here.
Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, and we'd like to just start off asking a little bit more about what your company does and maybe your 3 areas of focus.
Yeah, so I've been at GTS for a month now, and I'm the Chief AI Officer. And I was brought in to go and create a strategy for our AI/ML programs going forward. We work with 3 different sectors. We have document AI for intelligent document processing. We also have a intelligent chatbot, which we call the Omni Assistant AI. And basically it combines the power of generative AI with intelligent chatbots. And then we deal with education. So we help organizations and we'll help their different tiers of management in programs specifically to be able to help them figure out what their Gen AI strategy should be and be able to deal with differential governance for governing best practices of AI, ML, and implementations.
Brilliant. I can see how that is of great assistance to companies that are now trying to navigate a space and wanting to see real implementations. So coming back to on the document side, talk a little bit about that in terms of a process. What documents can you process and the efficiencies there?
Yeah, and so basically, I mean, the whole concept is to be able to take unstructured document data. So those could be PDFs, they could be Microsoft Word files, they could be images, they could be all sorts of things. And oftentimes, you have organizations that struggle to be able to get proper information about what they have and where it is. So you want to be able to process things, be able to find out what they are, and then process them accordingly. So for example, if you have a repository of all these different documents, they could be receipts, invoices, resumes, flyers, all sorts of different things. Well, normally, you would think that a file name would be able to tell them exactly what it is. More than likely, that's not the case. So basically with document AI, you're able to go through and figure out what they are, and then based on that, what are you going to do with it? So for example, if I have an invoice, I may be really interested in who the vendor is, the address, name, date, and then the total at the bottom. Well, that's great, but if I have a resume, I'm not going to look for name, address, or title, or total, right? And so you want to be able to do processing that's specific to a particular document once you know what it is. And that's what document AI brings you.
It sounds like it increases efficiencies and removes a lot of friction in terms of the collection input as well as ultimately the searchability.
Very much so. And the other thing is this, is that you're leveraging and empowering the systems that you have for storing your documents and being able to access them.
Right.
Yeah.
So long live the dusty, cluttered old file boxes, right? Now let's talk a little bit about your Omni Assistant AI chatbot.
Yeah.
Describe and explain what that is and how that's utilized.
Yeah, so we work with the major cloud vendors with their contact center solutions to build out our chatbots. But with the concept and the rising popularity of large language models and generative AI, everyone's wanting a more personalized presence, right? So you want to be able to, it's that fine line of being able to answer the question accurately based off the information that's been provided, so not making up too much information.
Right.
And being able to answer it in a more conducive way of the way I actually asked the question in the first place. It's certainly a flourishing area, and there's a lot of work being done. We actually build it through our Omni Assistant AI chatbot. And what it does is that it'll actually leverage generative AI to be able to put the answer together in the context in which it was asked, the question. And then on top of that, you'd be able to add all these other features that you wouldn't normally see in a chatbot. Like for example, let's say it's for a student body, for a university, and they're filling out an application form, and they're going down and they get stuck. Well, they're able to go and start up the chatbot, go and engage and be able to say, hey, I'm having problems. They may be able to answer the questions with the answers that have been already provided. But if not, they're able to leverage the chatbot assistant AI and be able to institute a live screen share with the agent.
Right.
And so the student is able to then highlight exactly where they're having a problem,
a feedback loop
and the agent can help them. And not only that, but the chatbot actually works in whatever language they happen to type it in. So they start typing in Spanish or Haitian Creole.
Brilliant.
It'll
so real time dynamically understanding input.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's a very powerful product.
I'd say. That's super interesting. So when a customer comes to you and says, how do we start a POC? What does that process look like?
Yeah, so we would do a discovery session and be able to find out what is it they're trying to solve, in what manner do they want to be able to consume it. We will stand up a POC within 3 to 4 days, and we'll charge a flat fee of $15,000 for the service, and we'll make it available to their organization for 30 days. And what it does is that this brings a conversation about something that's real and tangible versus something that's hypothetical. So a lot of problems that you have with organizations is that they may have a large wish list of something very technical that they want to be able to do, but they struggle to be able to go and communicate that across their teams.
Right.
This actually allows them to actually have the look, feel, to be able to actually tap on it and be able to see what a actual solution would look like for their data when they need it, right? And so it becomes a very real conversation about what it is and what it's not, and they can make an informed decision of whether they want to be able to go forward with it.
That's really interesting in terms of your speed to delivery, as well as a clear framework and costs, so that a customer can say, this makes a lot of sense, because there's nothing like the party, even when you get down to the people who have to deliver that to their boss, right? For you to give them the confidence that you will deliver something that is demonstrable, and from that there is an inflection point of whether they go further with a project, et cetera. So that's exciting to hear. And it must dovetail a little bit in terms of your third area of competency, which is really on the educational level or workshop level?
Yes. Yeah, we do. We actually have a number of different programs. So we have a 90-minute kind of discovery session. We have a one-day program, and the one-day program would be for the upper managers, so the leadership. We have a 3-day program, which is the leadership and the managers. And then we have a 5-day program that's for the managers and their staff. And what we cover is the best practices for generative AI, implementation, being able to use it in a safe and efficient manner, and then be able to use it in a responsible manner. So the do's and don'ts, how that actually fits in with their governance strategy, and we will come in and be able to lay that land out for them. I mean, effectively what GTS is a trusted partner on their AI/ML journey, and that's the key point.
Right, brilliant. Thank you very much for explaining what Global Technology Solutions, GTS's business is, and where you're excelling in those 3 domains of expertise. Here we are at GovAI, right? It's the first, this intersection of core deep technology and government and other sectors here. So any closing remarks or thoughts in your involvement over the course of GovAI?
Yeah, this was great. I wasn't sure what to expect, and the setup was great. The speakers and who they represent in government has been fantastic. Just seeing the diversity of the different partners that are here has been great. And what it's actually done, it's actually made it a very provocative type engagement, because it's about enabling all the different sections. Government is being able to talk about what challenges they face and what initiatives they're working on. Partners are able to go and showcase what they bring to the table and what may resonate with certain institutions. So, we're all there to be able to help organizations of all sorts and depending where they are in the government or otherwise. And so this is a great forum for this.
Brilliant. Anant, thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie.